Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Precision Race Night to you all. Welcome to the Trade Broadcasting Network as we are pleased to bring you live coverage from Dover International Speedway. The Precision Racing League brings you the United Armed Services Oval Series, and tonight they are featuring the A&J Ford Memorial Run by Jeffrey Ford. I am your commentator, Sean Zulu, and I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave Everly. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight, Sean?
I am doing good too, thank you. Well, Dave, as always, I am very excited about tonight's race. We are racing here tonight at Dover. Well, Dave, start off by telling us a little bit about tonight's race, please.
Well, Sean, as you said, we are at Dover International Speedway here as we are starting to get down to the close and nitty-gritty here of the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series. Looking at our weather right now, we have an air temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit with a track temperature showing right about 83 degrees Fahrenheit, with the wind east at 3 miles an hour with clear and sunny conditions out tonight.
Oh yeah, and as usual, these guys do have a 60% fuel limit. That is 60%. So they do have to pit at least once in order to be able to make it all the way for a 140 lap race. And we want to apologize once again, as last week we did have some technical difficulties for Big D's Transport 250 by Cody Johnson at Talladega. But just a little bit of recap. The 18 of Justin Michael brought it home. The 18 of Travis Browder came out in second place. The 5 of Jason Ashby came out in third place. James O'Brien in fourth. And the 8 of Aguiar came out in fifth place. And these guys are from Justin Michael and Travis Browder, hashtag Team No Lift. Jason Ashby from Team Badweiser. James O'Brien from Underdog Motorsports. And the 5 of Stephen Aguiar from Team Badweiser, just like the 5 of Jason Ashby, who finished in third place during last week's race. And also currently in front of me, we do have the season standings. I have the 24 of Corey Blevins still in the lead. He has been in the lead for the last 4 to 5 races, and he is from Flat Out Motorsports. The 7 of Dallas Pataska is still in second place as well. He is from Dallas Pataska Motorsports. The 1 of James O'Brien is back in the top 5 from Underdog Motorsports. The 11 of Brennan Massey from 5th place. He is now in 4th place from the Screaming Eagles. And the 66 of Charles Paradis from 4th place. And he is from Turn Left Racing. So Brandon Massey and Charles Paradis just swapped spots, 4th and 5th. And also going further down, we do have this 654 Josh Conker from Underdog Motorsports. He is in 6th in points. And behind him, we do have tied for 7th place between Jack Price, who is from Voltage Racing, and Paul D. Johnson, last week's race sponsor for the Big D's Transport 250 at Talladega. He is tied with 174 points with Jack Price. And 1 point behind them is Justin Michael from Team No Lift. And Dale Robertson is 10th in standings from Voltage Racing. Well, going back to tonight's race, we are racing once again here at Dover for the A&J Ford Memorial Run by Jeffrey Ford, and currently on the pole is the 18 of Travis Browder. And the 16 of Curtis Aho is currently being shown in second place, the 13 of Jacques Francois in third place. Well, Dave, this track is not really everyone's best friend, so we should expect to see a lot of drivers racing the track more than they do race each other tonight.
Well, most definitely here. As you said, the 18 of Travis Browder is currently on the pole right now. I do have to say that gentleman has been having a lot of good luck this week. He did win the Daytona NIS Open earlier this week, so he has got a lot of momentum coming into this race. I have talked to him previously, and he is ready to rock and roll, as I'm sure all these guys are. We are in for a show tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. It should be an amazing race for 140 laps. If we do see those green flag pit stops, Dave, it's going to be very key to get off the track as soon as you can, because, Dave, pitting in is very, very tricky, which makes it not easy at all.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, as we only got about 15 seconds left in qualifying, as it looks like almost everybody that was going to put down a time has. We only currently have 17 people putting down a qualifying time, so it'll be interesting to see how this is going to play off, who's going to come from the back of the field, as it looks like qualifying is now over, so these drivers are going to get ready to get down onto pit road, get into their car, and get ready to start gridding.
And speaking of gridding, these guys have now advanced into gridding mode, so we will give them a few seconds before we go down that list. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series, and tonight they bring you the A&J Ford Memorial Run by the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, who will be starting in 16th place. We're going down that list. Once again, we do have that 18 of Travis Browder qualifying on the pole. And to his right, leading the outside, will be the 16 of Curtis Aho in second place. The 13 of Jacques-Francois Champagne has had some bad luck this season so far. Is starting in third place behind the 18 of Travis Browder. And that 87 of Justin Michael, last week's winner, Talladega, starting in fourth place behind the 16 of Curtis Aho. We do have the 7 of Dallas Pataska in fifth place. The 1 of James O'Brien, last season's champion, starting in sixth. 654 of Josh Conker, 7th. The 45 of Eddie Hawk starting in 8th. The 28 of Eric Roberts, 9th. We do have the 24 of Corey Blevins, our current season standings leader, has been for the last 3-4 races. He is starting in 10th place. The 6 of Stephen Mattox, 11th. The 14 of Paul D. Johnson starting in 12th place. The 66 of Charles Paradis in 13th. The 27 of Danny Duchesne, 14th. The 11 of Brandon Massey, 15th. The 95 of Jeffrey Ford, once again tonight's race sponsor, starting in 16th. The 911 of John Laboff in 17th, being the last car to qualify. The first car to not put in a qualifying time is the 8 of Stephen Aguiar, starting 18th. The 40 of Aaron R. Groskov in 19th. The 3 of Dale Robertson in 20th. The 41 of Chris Perez, 21st. The 78 of Ronald McManus, 22nd. The 59 of David White, 23rd. The 9 of Austin Moore, 24th. And last but not least, behind the field will be the 10 of Lance Marsh, the teammate, the 4 of Sammy Holmes, who unfortunately is not racing tonight. Going back up front, we are being led by that 18 of Travis Browder, who is leading the start for the first time this time by. They are pacing at 45 miles an hour, getting ready to go green for the first time for 140 laps.
Well, Sean, we are at the Monster Mile, Dover International. The question is, how many cars is the Monster gonna collect for his collection again tonight? As we have seen many cars and drivers become victim to the Monster Mile.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. It's only a matter of time for most of the drivers, but yeah, they do know what exactly they're doing, and they do keep in mind that they do not have any backup cars, so they do have to be extra careful to try and get around this. As right now they do enter turn number 4. The pace car does go off the track. The 18 of Browder still holding pace speed with 13 of Jeff Francois getting ever closer to his back bumper, going green for the first time, this time by. He is still holding pace speed. The green flag flies. He puts on the 16 of Curtis Aho, gets a better start than he did. 18 of Justin Michael, right-handed 16 of Curtis Aho. The 13 of Jean-Francois trying his best to challenge it. 87 of Justin Michael for that third place position. But that 16 of Curtis Aho does fall back in line behind that 18 of Brado, who was able to get in front of the 16 of Curtis Aho, keeping behind. But right now we have a battle for the third place position between the 13 of Jean-Francois and the 87 of Justin Michael, who do go side by side on the exit of turn 4. The 13 of Jean-Francois does fall short and backs it down because he did get a little bit loose. That does give the 87 of Justin Michael the third place position. And going further back in the pack, Dave, everybody so far has already gone single file, but going back up front to second place, the 16 of Aho does drift way high, allows the door to open for the 87 of Justin Michael, take it away, and he does so successfully. And with that, will bump the 16 of Aho from second place down to third place. Well, Dave, something tells me these guys are playing a tire conservation strategy to try and save tires.
Yeah, most definitely. But look at that 18 of Travis Browder, the 87 of Justin Michael. They are starting to pull a little gap here. Now here comes the 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne, trying to get to the inside there. Big D's Transport Racing, Curtis Aho in the 16 Ford Mustang. But he's just not able to get there and clear it. But they got to watch behind him. They've got the Dallas Pataska right behind them, right along with the 1 of James O'Brien. So these guys got to be careful. We also got the 6x4 of Josh Conker back here. So we have a studded lineup here, and they are already moving up, trying to get up into the front.
And further back in the pack, that 24, Corey Blevins being pushed by the 6 of Steven Mattox, who backs it down right now, overtaking that 28 of Eric Roberts, who drifted way high and had to let off because that wall was sneaking up on him. That did open the door for the 6 of Mattox and the 6 of Charles Paradis, who is looking to his inside as we speak. That 28, Eric Roberts, still hanging on nice and tight. He's able to successfully keep the 6 of Charles Paradis behind him. Nope, the 6 of Charles Paradis will toss it in into turn number 1, and they'll stay side by side through 1 and 2. Let's see what happens on the exit of turn 2. That 6 of Charles Paradis takes it away successfully, the 28 of Roberts, but he is putting the 14 of Johnson with him.
Yep, here comes the 14 of Paul D. Johnson, looking to the inside of Eric Roberts as they are battling here through turns 1, 3, and 4. Looks like Paul D. Johnson's just going to nose him out here as he is going to be able to pull ahead of him, and Roberts is just going to drop down in behind him as Paul D. Johnson now has moved up into 11th position, so he is just gaining positions here. Meanwhile, his teammates currently running in 3, so these guys are running pretty good here. Now, another thing these drivers got to be careful about is on the exit of 4, about midway up the track, there is a bump. That bump, if you get too hard on that throttle and hit that bump, that will cause your back end to come out, and we will see a lot of cars spinning off of turn number 4.
Oh, that's absolutely right. That does explain exactly why these guys are being extra careful and a little bit slower on the exit of turn 4, because yeah, that rear end is snapping on. That does make a lot of sense. And Dave, I've been watching that 28 of Eric Roberts, who started back in 9th place and is now being shown in 12th place, decided to fall all the way back to 12th place. And I've noticed that Eric Roberts has been a driver throughout the entire season who's been going to the back throughout the entire race, but then when it comes down to it, the last 10 laps is when he really charges. And so far it has seemed to be paying off in his favor.
Going back up front, it does look like the 87 of Justin Michael has been able to get around the 18 of Travis Browder, as he is now pulled out to about a 7/10 lead over the 18 of Travis Browder. But now Travis Browder has got some challenge behind him as Curtis Aho is right on that back bumper, just waiting for him to make a mistake to be able to overtake and get back in that second position.
And Dave, so far it does seem as though the 18 of Travis Browder has slowed down quite a bit, which did pull in the 16 of Curtis Aho. So maybe Dave, he might have burned up his stuff a little bit too early because of pushing too soon. As soon as the green flag had flown, and that has allowed the 16 of Curtis Aho to be riding close to him.
Well, most definitely here at Dover, it is only a 1-mile track, so these turns are sharp, and they will eat up these tires. The question that we have is we are now on lap 11 of 140, is how long can these guys go before they'll have to come into pit? Will they be able to go a full fuel run, or are they going to have to come in early and get those tires changed out? Because unlike in actual NASCAR, these guys have unlimited tires, so they don't have to worry about how many tire sets they have left in the garage.
Oh, absolutely right, Dave. And with that said, that's going to bring different strategies for these guys to try and outsmart each other. Most of them will try and run that tank drive despite their tires being worn down all the way. Others will try and short pit to try and stay consistent and try and keep those speeds up. So it's just going to pretty much be the one which is the best strategy at this point. I can't really tell, but it's going to be very interesting to find out. Going down further back in the pack, we do have that 24 of Corey Blevins, our current season standings leader. He is behind the 66 of Charles Paradis, who is coming up close to the 654 of Josh Conker for that 7th place position.
Well, that 24 of Corey Blevins has got to be careful. There's another fast driver behind him. The 6 of Stephen Maddox, who's kind of slowly just closing that up. And right behind him, we have the 14 of Paul D. Johnson. So these guys are just kind of riding now. It's in the early stages of the race. Going a little further back here, taking a look at, let's see here, we'll go a little further back. We got the 10 of Lance Marsh currently running back in P24. He is still on the lead lap, but he has got to be careful because the 87 of Justin Michael is coming for him. Then going a little further up, we have the 9 of Austin Moore currently running in 17th, as he's got the 3 of Dale Roberts right behind him. So we've got potential for battles all over the track here, Sean.
Oh, absolutely right. And Dave, and as you were speaking, we did have the 59 of David White getting to the wall on the entry or the entrance to turn number 3, and that did give him some right side damage, some right front damage mostly, and that did cost him the position to the 40 of Aaron R. Groskov, who's currently in 22nd place right now, trying his best to run down everybody else in front of him. And by the looks of it, his next victim is the 911 of John Laboff, the 21st position.
Well, let's go up front here to the James O'Brien. We are going to take a look in his cockpit. We're going to watch him drive a lap here, especially coming out of turn 4, to see how he handles that bump here as he's now coming down the front stretch here, as we looking right out his windshield, as he is currently looking at the 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne in front of him. Here he comes out of turn 4. You see he's got to turn that wheel a little bit to the right to get it straightened out after hitting that bump, but he is doing a great job of wheeling this car around here on the track.
Also, what I've noticed, Dave, is that he does have a different line compared to that of the 13 of Jean-Francois, who is ahead of him. The 13 of Jean-Francois is going all the way down to that bottom lane, while the 1 of O'Brien decides to stay in the middle lane, then drifts it way up high. So far, Dave is sacrificing speed for tires.
Well, it's a long race here. We have 140 laps, which is 140 miles here at Dover. So these guys got some time here, but they are doing a good job as we are on lap 20. Have only had 1 lead change and no cautions so far. Now, this track is known for causing a lot of cautions, but these got drivers. As we said, we have a very experienced and very fast bunch of drivers in here. They are putting on a clinic on how to run the Monster Mile.
And Dave, we're about to the 16 of Curtis out and the 7 of Dallas Pataska for 3rd place. They are side by side here, entering turn 3. That 7 of Pataska does make the pass on the 16 of Curtis out, successful exiting turn 4. He will take that 3rd place away, 3rd position away from the 16 of Curtis out. And Dave, going for the back in the pack, he did talk about the 6 of Stephen Mattox, a very fast driver who was catching up to the 24 of Corey Blevins. So far, he is on his rear end. Well, Dave, let's focus on the 6 of Mattox. Let's ride on his end car so we can watch him go against the 24 of Blevins.
Well, as we got the tachometer up there on him, we are seeing 160 mile an hour on the straight stretch, slowing down to right about 149 in the turns, then back on the throttle here as he is catching a little bit of draft here. He is getting that car almost 168 mile an hour on that backstretch, then slowing back down to about 140 for turns 3 and 4. As you see him come whipping around here, he's going to look to the outside, but Corey Blevins is going to shut that door on him here coming into turn 1.
And Dave, right now, the 24 of Corey Blevins is most likely feeling the pressure of the 6 of Stephen Mattox. He is mirror driving, because what it looks like when the 6 of Mattox goes low, the 24 of Blevins does go low, making it seem as though he's blocking. But it's just because he's looking in his rearview mirror to try and see the best line to defend that position. But right now, that 6 of Matrix is still getting ever closer. 24 of Blevins does push Harry a little bit here, exiting turn number 2. He's going to look to his inside. Nope, he almost makes contact with him, but he decides to pack it down to avoid causing trouble.
Yeah, most definitely. We saw that there just from his roof cam as we were riding on the roof of the 6 of Stephen Maddox in his Tide machine. Caused him to lose a little bit of time here, but he is still sticking up there right with the 24 of Corey Blevins, but he is starting to drift a little high here in through the turn as it looks like he is going to try to look to the inside, but just not able to get there on Corey.
And both drivers do seem to be having a constant gap between them and the 6.54 of Josh Conker, who is currently in 8th place. Behind the 1 of James O'Brien. These guys, just riding, but going further up front, Dave, we have that 13 of Jean-Francois applying pressure to the 16 of Curtis Aho, who is in the 4th place position after getting overtaken by the 7 of Dallas Pataska, and so far he has lost about 1.8 seconds to the 7 of Dallas Pataska.
Well, going a little further up there, Sean, it looks like Travis Browder now has the 7 of Dallas Pataska all over his back bumper there, as Dallas Pataska was able to close that gap, as these guys are now going to have to contend with slower lap traffic as they are coming up on the 10 of Lance Marsh. So Travis is going to have to get around him, but that is going to let the 7 of Dallas Pataska, looks like Lance Marsh pulls the inside and lets him go by cleanly. So these guys are battling out for 2nd position.
And the first cars going a lap down are the 59 of David White and the 10 of Lance Marsh. And next in line is looks like it's going to be the 40 of Aaron Groskov, but Aaron Groskov has put the hammer to the floor, trying his best to not go a lap down, but that leader, the son of Justin Michael, is catching up to him. He does have him in his sights.
Ooh, it looks like Aaron Groskov there almost tagged that wall coming out of turn 2. He slid up there. It didn't look like he made any contact, but he was close as he is trying to keep the 87 of Justin Michael behind him.
And I'm monitoring the lap times between the 87 of Justin Michael and the 40 of Groskov. Groskov's last lap was a 24.093 as of the, while the 87 of Justin Michael ran at 23.8. So that was a little bit of a difference right there. The 87 of Justin Michael was a little bit quicker that lap due to the 40 of Groskov drifting up, almost getting into the wall like you had talked about. But right now, Aaron Groskov has put that hammer to the floor because he is noticing that the 87 of Justin Michael's blimp or his picture is coming up ever closer in his rearview mirror.
Well, going a little further back here, it looks like now it's Curtis Aho's time to get around the 10 of Lance March, as he has got a pack behind him. He has got the 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne, the 66 of Charles Paradis, who is looking to the inside there and gets around Jean-Francois Champagne. But here comes the 6x4, Josh Conker, also looking. We're 3 wide here into the turn. Jean-Francois Champagne backs it down, lets Josh Conker go by, as he just lost 2 positions right there.
Oh, and that 10 of Lance Marsh gets hard into the wall on the exit of turn 2, and right now he's on the apron going down pit road, most likely going down pit road. Yep, I believe nope, he's just staying on the apron to let everybody by. Good move by him, because that was a very, very big speed difference on his part. He does have that 59 of David White behind him, but decided to back it down.
Well, Sean, we are now at 34 laps here at the Monster Mile in Dover with 106 laps to go. So the question is when are we going to start seeing some green flag pit stops? It's going to have to be difficult getting down onto that apron because it is going to be slippery. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these guys as they start making their green flag pit stops.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. Yeah, these guys are most likely trying to plan it out. At the moment, the field right now is most likely depending on the leader, the 18 of Justin Michael, to see exactly when he's going to be pitting in. And Dave, we do have a position change between the 18 of Browder and the 7 of Pataska, who was able to take away the 2nd place position away from the 18 of Travis Browder. And right now, the next opponent of the 18 of Travis Browder, the next closest one, is the 66 of Charles Paradis. As that 16 of Aho was bumped. Oh, they're actually battling right now as we speak for that 4th place position. The 16 of Charles Paradis gets around the 16 of Curtis Aho and gets around successfully, entering turn number 4.
Yeah, but now look at Curtis Aho. He has the 6x4 Josh Conker right behind him. He is wanting to take away that position too, as these guys, man, what battles all over the field here. These guys are not giving up. They're not letting drivers go. They are trying to get as many positions as they can. especially considering that we only have this race and 3 more races before we crown a champion here for the United Armed Services Oval Series, brought to you in part by the Precision Racing League.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. That is motivation enough for these guys to push those cars to the limit to try and get the most speed possible. And right now, that 13 of Jacques-Francois challenging the 654 of Conquer. The 13 of Jacques-Francois almost gets into the wall and backs it down in time to avoid getting into it, but opens the door for the 6 of Steven Mattox to take it away, and he does so successfully on the entrance to turn 3.
That's good driving there by Steven Mattox. After starting in 11th position, he has made his way up to 8. And then looking up that further here, Charles Paredes started in 13th position, and he is in the top 5 running 4. So we have some big movers already tonight. So these drivers were not waiting here, as we are now hitting lap 40 of 140. As Steven Mattox is now looking to the inside of Josh Conquer, just not able to get there as Josh Conquer slammed the door shut. But Mattox is still not giving up on him.
And Deva monitoring the gap in between the 2 leaders, the 7 of Pataska and the 87 of Justin Michael, our current leader. Well, the 7 of Pataska has been running down the 87 of Justin Michael at a very, very fast rate every single lap. It's going down quite a bit, so he is pulling him in. So I'm not sure. I mean, right now that 7 of Pataska is a very, very fast driver so far in tonight's race here at Dover, starting in 5th place, made his way up on the way into 2nd place, and is now running down the 87 of Justin Michael, who most likely is feeling the pressure from that 7 of Pataska, but right now he is catching up to a slower car that is going to be the 911 of John LaBeouf.
Well, we currently have 3 cars already a lap down here, as we are now coming up on lap 42 here with 98 laps to go left here. The way these guys are going, Sean, I think we're going to have all green flags pit stops. It looks like the 59 of David White is going to make his way down onto pit road here. He is going to be the first one to make a green flag pit stop here on lap 43.
And because of it, he will go more laps down, because this is a very short track, like you talked about. So he will go multiple laps down, but he will be able to get those laps back once everybody goes down to pit road. And as we speak, that 7 of Pataska does continue to close the gap in between him and the 87 of Justin Michael, who's now catching up to another lap car, which is the same one, the 911 of John LaBeouf, who does stay high, but the 87 of Justin Michael does fall short on the exit of turn 2 as well.
Well, taking a look here at my lap times, these guys are still running to right about the low to mid 24-second lap times. Let's see, our fastest lap time so far of the night is going to be the 87 of Justin Michael, with putting down a 22.686. That is a blistering time here at Dover. So he has got the fastest lap time of the night. Is the last time around, looks like the 6 of Steven Mattox, bringing the fastest lap time with a 24.114.
And we have a lot of drivers pitting in as we speak. We have the 95 of Jeffrey Ford down pit road, Eric Roberts down pit road, Brandon Massey down pit road, David White just left pit road, and more drivers are now going down pit road as well. Also looking further back in the pack, we do have the 9 of Austin Moore, been keeping a low profile so far. He did start in 24th place and just moved up all the way up into 14th place, gaining 10 spots this far, but he has yet to pit in. And we have more drivers down pit road, Charles Paradis, Steven Mattox, Jacques-Francois, and the 24 of Corey Blevins. 9 of Austin Moore as well, down on the apron, downshifting that sucker down to 35 miles an hour pace speed, pitting in this time by. .654 of Josh Conquer as well is headed down pit road this time by, and that will bump the 16 of Aho up into the 4th place position. So far we have only the leaders left to pit, Justin Michael, Dallas Pataska, Travis Browder, and Curtis Aho.
Well, it looks like Dallas Pataska, Travis Browder are on pit road here. So we are just waiting on Justin Michael, Curtis Aho, Paul D. Johnson, Eddie Hawks, Chris Perez, John LaBeouf, Steven Mattox, and Lance Marsh, all to make their way down onto pit road for some green flag pit stops. Here comes Justin Michael slowing it down, making his way down onto pit road there. Saw a little smoke come from his tires as he had to really hit them brakes hard to get slowed down to the 40 mile an hour pit road speed here at Dover International Speedway.
Eddie Hawks decides to stay out another lap, and so does the 41 of Chris Perez and the 911 of John LaBeouf. So that will give the race lead here shortly to the 45 of Eddie Hawks, who's currently being shown in second place, but right now he does seem to have a little bit of right side damage on his car. Oh, yeah. He does head down the apron right now, going down pit road this time.
Looks like 911 of John LaBeouf going down to pit road. So it looks like everybody has came in, and the first round of green flag pit stops have cycled through here as these guys are coming down. Still currently showing the 87 of Justin Michael out in first place. Is our stats here are updating as they cross the start-finish line.
And Dave, that 45 of Eddie Hawks and the 911 of John LaBeouf were both able to do 51 laps on their tires. So that was a lot of laps on the exact same tires, and that most likely was them running their tanks dry, and that does give the 45 of Eddie Hawks the race lead, but he is down pit road and most likely will be overtaken by other drivers who are on the track to take the race lead away from him.
Well, it looks like the 7 of Dallas Pataska was able to take the lead here as he is our new race leader. That is our third lead change. Well, Sean, if my math is correct, if these guys keep running under the green flag conditions and running at least 50 laps on their tires, it looks like they are only going to need one more pit stop to be able to make it the remainder of the race.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. And with that said, those drivers who did run the tank dry, they do have the most chances, or they have basically won't need as much gas as those guys who decided to short pit. So maybe that was a very good strategy with the 45 of Eddie Hawks and the 911 of John LaBeouf, who did decide to stay out the longest. And going back up front, Dave, that 18 of Travis Brown has put the hammer to the floor, running down the 7 of Dallas Pataska for that race lead.
Yeah, he is about a second behind here, but he has got the 6 of Stephen Maddox, the 6 of Stephen Maddox behind him, but look who's right behind Stephen Maddox. That's going to be the 87 of Justin Michael, as we are now 1/3 complete here at Dover International. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take this opportunity to take our first commercial break of the night. So stay tuned, go get it, refill on your drink, refill on your snack, and we will be right back.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series by Dean Stone. And tonight they bring you the A&J Ford Memorial Run by the 95 of Jeffrey Ford. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are under our first caution of the night, sorry. And we do have the 7 of Dallas Pataska in the lead, and he is heading down pit road, leading the whole entire pack behind him. But we do have some drivers deciding to stay out, and we have 59 of David White, 6 of Steven Mattox. We have the 9 of Austin Moore, who just got 1 lap back this time by. Unfortunately, we have lost the 10 of Lance Marsh. And to bring out the caution, we did have a self spin on the 10 of Poddy Johnson, whose rear end just snapped around, got loose on the exit of turn number 2, and he just lost control of it, and he did smack the wall heavily, and he was smoking heavily on his way down to pit road. And right now we still have that 7 of Dallas Pataska still in the lead, and came out in the lead out of pit road with a 12.3 second pit stop. A 7 of Justin Michael got some damage under caution and is now down pit road getting that damage fixed. Has been on pit road for 40 plus seconds. So they just hope for the best for him. Hopefully his damage is not going to be that bad.
Yeah, most definitely here, Sean. As you said, this is our first caution of the night here. We are currently on lap 60 of 140. We are going to have 80 laps to go. So even though these guys are pitting, they still will have to pit at least one more time, because the most that we saw was someone drive 52 laps on a tank of fuel. So they are going to still have to pit at least one more time tonight.
Oh, that's absolutely right, Dave. We are going to see a lot of different strategies by the sounds of it. Some drivers will run it dry like we had seen with the 45 of Eddie Hawks and the 911 of John Laboff, and some will decide to pit a little bit sooner. And those lights on the pace car are still on, so we will interview one of the drivers, the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, who is currently in 13th. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 95 of Jeffrey Ford up here with us. Get a cup there, bud.
I do, Sean.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing pretty good. So far impressed with the way the drivers have been driving tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Jeffrey. Yeah, it's been an amazing race. You guys had some green flag pit stops. And Jeffrey, you are the sponsor for tonight's race, the A&J Ford Memorial Run. Well, Jeff, tell us a little bit of tonight's race, please.
I didn't hear that end part there. What was that, Sean?
Oh, sorry about that. I was talking about how you're the sponsor of tonight's A&J Ford Memorial Run. I was asking if you don't mind telling us about tonight's race, please.
Yeah, I want to do it in memory of my parents, Alfred and Joanne Ford. That's what A&J stands for there. So I chose Dover because I grew up about 5 minutes from the track. So I thought it'd be fitting to go ahead and pick a track that I went to as a kid all my life with my parents. And that's why I chose it. It's not my fastest track, that's for sure, but I thought it was fitting to choose it for in honor of them.
Oh, copy that, Jeffrey. Well, we are glad to hear that, and yeah, it's been an amazing race, just like you had hoped it would be. And you've been doing an amazing job so far. Your car does seem to be looking very, very clean with no scratches whatsoever. You are running back there in 13th place, and Jeffrey, we'll catch up with you later on, because you are now back to 1 to green. So keep doing what you're doing and make us proud, buddy.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, now the pace car is bringing them here into turn number 3 as we are getting ready to go back green flag racing. We have the 7 of Dallas Pataska that'll taking us back to the restart with the 18 of Travis Browder on the outside, 6x4 of Josh Conker in 3rd, and the 24 of Corey Blevins currently in 4th. Pace car dips down into pit road. There goes Dallas Pataska. Hard on that throttle. It looked like the 18 of Travis Browder was caught sleeping as the 6x4 of Josh Conker was able to get around him as they are now coming into turn number 1.
And that 24 of Corey Blevins trailing the 18 of Travis Browder with the 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne behind him, going behind him just single file with 66 Charles Paradis behind the 13 of Jean-Francois. And that 66. Oh, the 18 of Browder gets off the track into the, looks like he is pitting in this time. Most likely got a penalty.
Most might be, or maybe he just got down in that apron and just decided to keep it down there to try to keep it off the track.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Travis Browder, but that will cost him a lot of time, and most likely he will be going a lap or more down But let's focus on the 18 of Brother and see if he is going into his pit stop. He's just going to do a drive-through.
Looks like he is going to go into his pit stall here. He is just going to take fuel and get back out on the track.
Yep, that was only 2.9 seconds, so that was some kind of strategy. But right now he is being shown in 16th place so far, still being the last car. Oh, no, he just went a lap down in 16th place. But going back up front, 654 of Josh Conker took over the second place position with the 24 of Corey Blevins in third place. In that 87 of Justin Michael, heavy damage, but he is still out there. He's challenging that one of James O'Brien for the 7th place position. They are side by side on the exit of turn 4. That 87 of Justin Michael will lead a slight nose across the start-finish line. That will give him the 7th place position. And right now into turn 1, he does clear that one of James O'Brien successfully.
Yeah, it looks like he's only got some rear-end damage. That doesn't seem to be slowing him down here at Dover, as he was able to make that pass on the one of James O'Brien, who consequently is our last season racing season champion, the one of James O'Brien. That's why he's got the number 1 on his car. So he is trying to compete here, but looks like he has got some stiff competition with all these drivers this year.
Oh, absolutely, Dave, and he has a little bit of bad luck so far this season. He has been getting involved in a lot of wrecks. Tonight he has been able to stay clean for the most part. Actually, yeah, that car is looking very, very clean, very, very good looking Ford Chevy SS. Right now he is just riding behind that 87 of Justin Michael, while behind him he does have the 8 of Stephen Aguiar catching up to him.
Well, we are now coming up on lap 70 here. We are halfway done with tonight's race. Figure out here in about 20 laps, we might be seeing the last set of green flag pit stops here. See if, yeah, right about 20 laps, and these guys should be able to make it the rest of the way.
Oh, Dave, we do have one driver smoking heavily down pit road. It is the 6 of Steven Mattox, heavy smoke, hitting in this time. Holy cow.
Oh, that's highly unfortunate. He was having a great run here tonight. He is down on the pit road there to get that damage repaired, as his pit crew is now banging on that car trying to get him back out there.
Also going for the back in the pack, we do have the 59 of David White currently being... Oh, we do have one driver getting loose on the track on the front stretch. That is going to be the 28 of Eric Roberts. He was able to hang on to it after smacking that wall on the left side. But that did cost him a lot of speed and in some positions and a lot of time as well. And also it did give him a lot of damage on that left side. He does it 45 of Eddie Hawks catching up to him.
Well, that was some great driving by him to keep it down low and not bring out the yellow flag here, as we are now on lap 73 of 140. So he might still have a chance here, as it looks like it's not affecting his speed too much here, Sean.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. He is really, really proving us wrong, because, yeah, that car is not looking at its best, but he is still countering that damage by putting that hammer to the floor and actually running down the 59 of David White, who is the closest car in front of him. And we are also going for the back up front. We do have that 3 of Dale Robertson. I haven't spoken much of him tonight. He started back in 20th place and is now behind the 11 of Brandon Massey in 12th place right now, just getting ever closer to his back bumper, but he is backing it down. Unfortunately, we have lost one driver, the 18 of Travis Browder.
That's highly unfortunate. He is a great driver. Unfortunately, he just had some issues there, and it looks like you said he is going to take it behind the wall and retire for the evening.
And going back up front, Dave, that's 7 of Dallas. Oh, the caution does fly. Heavy smoke on the front stretch, entering turn number 3. Let's see what that was. That was the 40 of Aaron Groskov. Heavy smoke on the track. Let's focus on the 40 of Groskov on replay.
Well, we're going to pull up our Dre Broadcasting Network Instant Replay, focusing on that 40 of Aaron Groskov as we take a follow here through him. Looks like coming out of the turn here. He gets down next to that apron coming out. That car just breaks loose on that bump. and sent him down into the inner wall, but that kept him up on the track. It's slower, and that brought out the caution, but he is heavy damage as he is smoking.
If he does make it to his pit stop, and that pit crew will try their best to fix that thing up so he can get back out there if possible to try and stay competitive, or to try and put in as many laps as possible to gain the most points. And going back up front, the center of Dallas Pataska does lead everybody down pit road. 654 of Josh Conquer behind him and the whole entire pack. We do have some drivers deciding to stay out, and it looks like that's going to be the 911 of John Lubbock. The 911 of John LaBeouf, who was a lap down, got around the pacer, got that lucky dog back on the lead lap on lap number 78. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does give us time to continue our interview with the 95 of Jeffrey Ford. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we do have the 95 of Jeffrey Ford up here. That's got a copy there again, Jeff.
I do, Sean. I got you.
Well, Jeff, we were not able to finish our interview with you last time due to you guys going 1 to green. But so far, Jeff, tell us how your race is going, buddy.
It feels pretty good. I'm trying to save my tires because if you don't, there's a huge drop-off. So I'm kind of finding that fine line between pushing it and not pushing it. But so far, the race is going better than I planned, actually.
Oh, 10 for him. Very, very glad to hear that. And Jeff, turn 4, the exit of turn 4 has seemed to have claimed a few cars that have smacked the wall on the left, and a few laps back, the 28 of Eric Roberts did get loose and go all the way down to the left one, smack that. Have you had any problems with the exit of turn 4 as well?
Turn 4 is definitely tricky. It's all about your throttle coming off. And if you don't, I'm not having any problems with it because I'm being very careful coming off of it. But if you lose focus just even a little bit and you hit that throttle just a little too soon, there's a little bump there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little bump there coming off of 4. And what it does is it throws your tail end out towards the wall, and that's why you see everyone hitting the inside wall afterwards.
Oh, copy that, Jeffrey. Well, Jeff, we are glad that you haven't had any encounter with that wall. And, you have been doing an amazing job so far, being able to stay out of trouble, just like you had pointed out. No damage at all on your car. And just been pretty much riding and trying to take positions while you can. And, Jeffrey, you guys do have, I believe you do have to make at least one more pit stop in order to be able to make it all the way. Do you think pitting in early, short pitting, is better than running your tank dry, or what's your strategy?
Well, we can do 50 laps max right now, so we're looking at 130. So I think some guys are going to, almost all of us are most definitely going to short pit. We're not going to go the complete 50 laps, but I think you're going to see it scattered out. I think it's going to be scattered out. Some will take pit earlier than others, but no one's going to run it dry.
Oh, copy that, Jeffrey. Well, Jeffrey, you are back to 1 to green, so we will let you get back to the driver's seat, continue doing exactly what you were doing. So good luck to you, buddy, and make us proud.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was tonight's race sponsor for the A&J Ford Memorial Run, the 95 of Jeffrey Ford. And looks like we have a special guest gonna be joining us, the 14 of Paul D. Johnson. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing good too, thank you. Just enjoying the show from up here, buddy.
Yeah, I did that. I came loose out of 2, and it was just one of those that you couldn't catch. It just went loose out of 2. Same exact thing that just brought that caution out. Identical.
Oh, 10 for we are very, very sorry to hear about that, but you did have an amazing race regardless. And right now these guys do go green. That's Seno Pataska does put it down to the floor, catches 654 of Conquer off guard. That is from Justin Michael does drag race at 13 of Jean-Francois on the front stretch into turn number 3, or into turn number 1. That is from Justin Michael does end up getting ahead of the 13 of Jean-Francois, who lets him go. And Paul, from your perspective, while racing today, how was the track feeling out there?
I felt fine. I just, you know, it's a hard track. It's a very hard track to run fast and to not wear your tires off. There's a lot of guys that can run it decently quick. Oh, we got someone spinning. Got someone spinning. Looks like he saved it though. That was the 654. Josh Conker made a fantastic save there.
Holy cow, fantastic save indeed. But that did cost him the second place position and bumps him all the way back to 10th place. He's an amazing driver, though he still has a lot of work to do, but he most likely can get it done.
Looks like the 66 Charles Prattis may have just made it past the 13 of JF there to take over, what is that, position 3?
Yep, that's absolutely right. That is the 3rd place position, and that does bump Jean-Francois down into the 4th place, and that 16 of Curtis Aho is charging behind that 13 of Jean-Francois. And we noticed 16 of Curtis Aho up front early on today, did start in 2nd place, decided to fall back all the way, and right now is just pretty much riding behind Jean-Francois.
Yeah, he and I were trying to figure out how in the world to save tires, and we just don't know how. Usually we're really good in the long runs with saving tires, and here we're just we're not good at it.
Oh, well, that is very understandable, and yeah, it is to be expected that you guys here are racing the track more than you are racing each other, which makes it even more difficult.
Going back up front here, we have the 7 of Dallas Pataska still leading, but now he has got the 87 of Justin Michael trying to catch him, but he is keeping a pretty good gap there as he's got about 8/10 of a lead over the Justin Michael, and then who's got another 8/10 lead over the 3rd place of 66 of Charles Paratus.
Further back, there's a heck of a battle going on right now between the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, the 911 of John LeBeff, and the 9 of Austin Moore. Actually, Austin got pushed up into the wall there and lost position, but they were going at it there for a little bit.
Yeah, we got a chance to talk to the 95 of Jeffrey Ford. His strategy is just to pretty much take it easy and stay out of that wall on the exit of turn number 4 there, which has claimed a few cars like we had pointed out. And right now he does seem to be catching out to that 911 of John LeBeff. And the first run for the green flag pit stops, we did notice the 911 of John LeBeff decided to stay out the longest with the 45 of Eddie Hawks having 51 laps on their tires. And Paul, from experience after racing tonight, do you think staying out to run your tank dry is the best thing to do, or maybe short pitting to try and stay consistent with your tires?
No, it's definitely more beneficial to stay out. This pit lane is so slow. You've got to basically leave entering turn 3. You got to get down the apron, get it slowed down, and then you got to drive at 35 miles an hour all the way down the pit lane. You know, these guys with these short laps, you're going to lose a lot of laps. You know, trying to short pit. The big thing is just trying to get as minimal fuel stops as you can, while maximizing the amount of time on fresh tires. That's the game you got to play.
Well, looking here now, we are now 49 laps to go, which means we are inside the pit window. So at any moment, we could see people trying to come down and play pit strategy, get in, get a full tank of fuel, get some fresh tires. As of right now, they can make it the remainder of the way on fuel once they come in and top off.
You know, what's funny about that, Dave, is that that's a very good point. Going into this race, everyone thought, you know, everyone would stay out because, you know, we kind of thought there would be a lot more wrecks, a lot more people messing up and getting into each other. And that's just not the case. And so now, exactly what you're saying, they're within that pit window, and with as much green flag racing has been going on, it could really play a factor, and it might pay to short pit here.
Yeah, most definitely there, Paul, as we are still focusing on that battle with the 95 and Jeffrey Ford, as he is trying to get to the inside there of John LeBeff, just not able to get it, as we saw the back end of LeBeff kind of slide out a little bit, but he's able to keep it going. The 9 of Austin Moore is going to get to the inside and complete the pass over Jeffrey Ford, taking away that position. It's now Austin Moore has got his sights focused on that 911 of John LeBeff.
And that 41 of Chris Perez, currently in 17th place, 1 lap down. Haven't spoken much of him tonight. Been keeping a low profile all night long right now. behind that 95 of Jeffrey Ford, trying his best to go through the field to get his lap back the hard way. And that 9 of Austin Moore does drift high and opens the door for the 95 of Jeffrey Ford to look his inside, but Jeffrey Ford is not able to make the pass on him, which does cause the 9 of Austin Moore to increase that gap.
Well, we got a battle right behind him there, Sean. 41 of Perez has got the 28 of Eric Roberts. This position is for position, and it's also for in case the yellow flag comes out for the lucky dog position, as these two are battling out bumper to bumper here, coming out of turn number 4, coming along the front stretch.
Oh, another battle going on the 9 of Austin Moore and the 911 John Love do this crossover move. The 911 Love does fall short on the exit of turn 2, and that does allow the 9 of Austin Moore to take it away into turn number 3, but he did smack that one, the entrance to it. And 911 of Labaf will try his best to set him up again to try and take it away, but that 9 of Austin Moore came out of nowhere and took it away, and so far does seem to be increasing that gap.
Well, as we see the 9 of Austin Moore, he does ride a little high through that turn, but John LaBeouf is just not able to capitalize on it, as they are now coming into turns 3 and 4. So now these guys got to battle that bump here on the exit of turn 4. As these guys are, looks like most of these guys are staying out here, as we are now 42 laps to go.
Looks like the 28 of Eric Roberts was able to get past the 41 of Chris Perez. So, like you were saying, I think he's now in that lucky dog position.
Yeah, most definitely there, Paul. Good observation. He has overtaken Chris Perez and is now sitting in that lucky dog position. So we know he is probably sitting there telling his crew chief, we need a caution so I can get back on that lead lap.
And he just got held up. I mean, there's quite a battle going on here. Now the 95 of Jeffrey Ford's trying to get past the 911, which has slowed Eric up and allowed Chris to catch back up to him. So it's not, he doesn't have that lucky dog position locked down, that's for sure, especially with this battle going on in front.
And right now his best bet is to get around the 95 of Jeffrey Ford so he can have the 95 of Ford to separate him from the 41 of Chris Perez, so it can be harder for him to get around him for that lucky dog position. And right now that 95 of Jeffrey Ford is getting closer to the 911 Lubbock, and they will be side by side on the exit of turn 4. Let's see what happens. Oh, the 95 of Jeffrey Ford does lead a slight nose crossing the start finish line. That does give him the position, the 14th position, bumping down the 911 of John Lubbock down into the 15th place position. And John Lubbock will drift high and has to lift a lot and loses a lot of speed because of it.
Yeah, it's going to open the door there. Let the 28 of Eric Roberts, who is not passing him for position, but he is able to get around him, as that is going to put him in between Eric Roberts and Chris Perez there for that first lucky dog position.
If you move back up to the front, I'm watching the battle between Justin Michael and the number 66 car of Charles Paradis, who just got past Justin Michael.
Yeah, and so far that 66 of Charles Paradis does seem to be pulling away, or trying his best to pull away, but Justin Michael does pull him in quite a bit in the turns, and exiting turn 4, the 66 of Charles Paradis does propel and leaves the Justin Michael a little bit further back.
Well, we are running about 27 to 26 laps on these tires for most of these drivers, so tire wear is playing effect here, as Charles Paradis is starting to put a gap between him and Justin Michael and the rest of the field, actually.
And
yeah, there's another battle. I'm sorry, there's another battle going on. Number 1 of James O'Brien and the number 13 of JF, John Francois Champagne. I don't know if they're on the same lap or not, but yes, they are. They're battling out 4th and 5th.
Well, so right now down pit road, we do have the 8 of Justin Michael, down pit road 24 of Corey Blevins, the 11 of Brandon Massey, and the 8 of Stephen Aguiar for their final pit stops of tonight's race after 27 laps on their tires.
Looks like the 16 of Curtis Aho dropped in. The 654 Josh Conker's right behind him. 3 of Dale Robertson is behind them. So I think you're going to see everybody jumping in here for their final pit stop.
Yeah, and the question remains: when will the son of Dallas Patasco, the leader, go down pit road? Is he going to go down with majority? As right now he does lap the son of Justin Michael, who's just leaving pit road on the exit of turn number 2 on the apron. with the 66 of Charles Paradis being shown about 2.5 seconds behind him, and has been 2.5 seconds behind for the last 2 laps.
This is actually an interesting move by Dallas not to pit, because every lap he does not pit at this point is another lap that I just drew a blank there. 87 Justin Michael is going to pull back, as you see, just bliss past him. I think Dallas realized that, is going in the pit. So.
Yeah,
Dallas
the question there is, Sean, is he going to be able to get down into pit road, get service, get back out, to stay in front of that 87 of Justin Michael, as these two have been battling pretty much all night?
Oh, absolutely, Dave. And the good thing is that Dallas Pataska was actually 2 seconds ahead of Justin Michael before Justin Michael decided to go down pit road. So he just might have that benefit under his belt. But that 27 of Danny Duchesne does take over the race lead with the 9 of Austin Moore in second place, and that 3 of Dallas Pataska currently being shown in third place.
Well, here comes the 27 of Danny Duchesne. He is coming down onto pit road. As we go back, take a look at Austin Moore, who is going to stay out. Looks like he is going to lead this next lap.
That's actually a really great idea by him to get that lead, lap lead point there.
Oh, he does drift high, smacks that wall, allows the 95 of Ford and the 41 of Chris Perez to get past him. And right now, it looks like he is going to be staying out again. He does have 33 laps on his tires, coming to 34 this time by.
Also looks like the 911 of John LaBeouf is on the same strategy here, as he is staying out. But here comes the 87 of Justin Michael and them fresh tires, as he is going to get around the 911 of John LaBeouf here. Oh, as he slides up and makes contact with the wall, but saves it, keeps it going. It's going to slow him down a little bit, as he's going to get a little bit of right side damage, but he is able to keep the car going straight.
Holy cow, that was some bad contact from both drivers, and also some very, very nice saves from both drivers. That is Justin Michael does get past the 911 of John LaBeouf, who has not yet pitted in, like you had said. He does have 34 laps on his tires, and him and the 9 of Austin Moore are the only drivers. Oh, actually, Eric Roberts and Chris Perez as well have not yet pitted in. So far throughout the entire field, we only have 4 drivers left to pit in.
Well, Sean, taking a look here, it looks like Justin Michael and Dallas Pataska and all them are already only 1 lap down. That means when the front 4 go down for pit stops, that is going to put them a lap down when they come back out, because most of these drivers are going down 2 laps when they go in for this green flag pit stop.
And Eric Roberts right now is headed down pit road, this time by back to 1 lap down. The 41 of Perez does let the Justin Michael by. They almost made contact, but they were able to keep it off each other.
It looks like now the 87 of Justin Michael has done it the hard way. He is back on the lead lap, as the 7 of Dallas Pataska is now also back on the lead lap, as he is able to get around our current race leader, the 9 of Austin Moore.
And the only thing separating the 87 of Justin Michael from the 7 of Pataska is the 41 of Chris Perez, or I should say was the 41 of Perez, because he just got around the 41 of Perez and is now trying his best to hunt down that 87 of Justin Michael to take back what was rightfully his, which was that race lead. And right now they are going to be overtaking the 28 of Eric Roberts, who's just now pitting out of pit road.
You know, it's funny. You can actually see, as I said, now Dallas may have had a little worse pit stop than Justin, but you can see that Justin had a couple more laps of fresh tires than Dallas, and it paid off. The only issue is now Dallas has got a little bit fresher tires, but the game you play here is, are there enough laps for him to use those couple lap fresher tires?
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, there is a benefit to both. Basically, his Justin Michael's strategy, he was able to get on Dallas Pataska, but then Dallas Pataska will run him down due to that difference in tires. And by the looks of it, they do have 4 laps difference on their tires.
Well, you also got to look that there is damage to that 87 machine of Justin Michael. But going back and look at the 7 of Dallas Pataska, his car is looking pretty clean. So that could also play effect. He does have a little bit of right front damage, but for the most part, his is clean compared to the 87 of Justin Michael.
And right now I'm also monitoring the drivers who have not yet pitted in. We only have two, the 9 of Austin Moore and the 911 of John LeBeouf. Both drivers have 42 laps on their tires, so they have 8 more laps to pit in before they run that tank dry. And right now they are being run down. Last time I checked, the 7 of Dallas Pataska and the 87 of Justin Michael were 20 seconds behind the 9 of Austin Moore, but now they've winded it down to about 15 seconds, which is 5 seconds. Oh, actually now 13 seconds, so that those lap times are going down every single lap.
Well, Sean, looking here, it looked like earlier that Justin Michael had the fastest lap of the night. Well, that has changed. Now the driver with the fastest lap all evening is going to be that 7 of Dallas Pataska with a 22.619.
Oh man, yeah, Dallas, he has been putting on an amazing show tonight. Just went from 5th place, was riding in the beginning, but now he did put that hammer to the floor and was able to put down a lot of good lap times using the draft of everybody else who was getting past. And also going for the back in the pack, we do have that 8 of Agria getting on the 9 of Austin Moore, who decided to stay high to let them by. And Austin Moore is the leader.
That 7 Dallas Pataska has caught 87 Justin Michael. Michael is looking inside in turn 3. Not going to make it stick coming out of turn 4 here, but he's probably going to get a run. He's probably just going to wait a little bit and see if he can get a good run and try to get around him, but he is right on his bumper.
Yeah, and that 87 of Justin Michael is really feeling the pressure from the 7 of Dallas Pataska. Looks like Dallas is going to toss it to the inside. 87 of Justin Michael will shut the door. They almost make contact. They are riding nose to tail. That 7 of Pataska does give a bump to the 87 of Justin Michael, who does then pull away, exiting turn 4.
Meanwhile, while these guys are battling, they are closing down that between the second place of John LeBeouf, as they are now actually making the pass on John LeBeouf. It's 87 of Justin Michael and the 7 of Dallas Pataska are now running P2, P3, as they are now only 7.5 seconds and dropping behind our current leader, the 9 of Austin Moore.
And Dave, let's ride on the in-car of the 7 of Dallas Pataska just so we can watch him work against the 87 of Justin Michael. Right now he does look to the inside of the 87 of Justin Michael, but then the 87 of Justin Michael does end up closing that door in the entrance to turn 3 and exiting turn 4. He does have a big run on the 87 of Justin Michael, but does not seem to have enough time to make the move before turn 1.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but John LeBeouf came into the pits too hot and smoked those barrels at the beginning of the pit brawl and got stuck in them. He's having to take a tow. I'm guessing he may have blew his motor on that. Just came in a little bit too hot, couldn't get underneath that pit wall and hit it head on.
Oh, most definitely, Paul, as you said, it is challenging getting from the track down onto pit road and getting down to 35 mile an hour down on pit road from 160 plus that they're running out on the track.
And up front, that 7 of Pataska does continue to apply pressure to the 87 of Justin Michael, who does continue putting on a hard fight, not going to let that position go away easily as he just got loose on the exit of turn 4. And we do have another engine roaring in their rearview mirror. That is the 28 of Eric Roberts.
Look at this, Sean. Justin Michael, Dallas Pataska have now caught the 9 of Austin Moore. They are just tenths of a second behind them here. As these guys, actually, they are going to overtake him as the 9 of Austin Moore looks to be down on pit road.
Well, I'm a little curious. Oh, we got a car sliding to the infield. He's going to stay on that inside, but I'm a little bit curious as to when Austin Moore pitted, because I'm actually listening to the in-game chat, and it sounds like he just said he's pitting out. If that's the case, and he's in first, which does not look like he is, I think he's a lap down.
That is correct. He is being shown currently 1 lap down here as he is exiting pit road. But we now have a battle back up front. The 7 of Dallas Pataska. Oh, contact made with the 87 Justin Michael. He goes sliding through the turn. That is going to bring out the caution with 10 to go.
Let's focus on the 87 Justin Michael and replay so we can see exactly what happened.
Oh, it looks like contact was made between him, and while he was sideways, he made contact with the 28 of Eric Roberts, which got him spun out on the track, bringing out the yellow flag.
Oh, absolutely. And by the looks of it, it might have been some bad netcode between the two drivers, the 87 of Justin Michael and the 7 of Dallas Pataska. But these guys will most likely stay out. Well, they are down on the apron, so they will be headed down pit road, and yes, they will be followed.
Well, this is going to give everybody a fresh set of tires here. Going, looks like we're going to have right about 6 laps to go when we go back green flag racing, Sean.
Oh yeah, and with that said, we should expect to see a lot of steering wheels being brought home, because these guys will put on the fight until the death.
I'll tell you, this is going to shake things up there, Sean. Those guys like Austin and Chris and a couple of those other ones did not pull out of the pits but a few laps ago, so they're running on some pretty new tires, and this allowed them to get back up to the front.
Well, race off pit road, we saw the 7 of Dallas Pataska followed by the 87 of Justin Michael, as everybody else is making their way off of pit road out on the track, getting ready to go back green flag racing, as that was our 3rd caution of the night. We've had 7 lead changes, and we are currently 8 laps to go.
Yeah, Paul, that will make things very interesting, and Austin Moore does seem so far to have 5 laps more on his tires compared to the leaders who just pitted in. And we had Dallas Pataska pit in all the way down to 13th place, the 8 of Steven Aguirre. All these guys do have newer tires, and my guess is that the actually, 9 of Austin Moore is currently a lap down behind the pace car, the 41 of Chris Perez. So these guys will be getting 1 lap back once it's 1 to go, and they will be back on the lead lap battling for position.
Well, what a way to go, as we are currently live on the iRacing portal tonight. So everybody out in the iRacing world is watching a tremendous battle here at Dover International Speedway with the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series here at Dover International. So it has been a blast, but we are still got one heck of a battle up here. Actually, it looks like Charles Paradas is going to be in front of the 87 of Justin Michael here, and Curtis Aho and Josh Carker are going to round out your top 5.
I have to give a shout out, since he's my teammate, to Curtis. He's doing really, really well tonight, which has seemed to be the theme of our racing so far this year. If one person has a good night, the other one has a horrible night. We just can't seem to put together. I think last year we actually had a couple podium finishes where we both finished in the podium, and this year haven't been able to do that.
Oh, absolutely, Paul. And yeah, Paul, it seems as though you haven't really had the best season just yet. You have been getting involved in almost every single wreck there's been, and had some bad luck last time at Gateway after putting on a hard fight with the 16 of Curtis Aho. As right now we are back to 1 to green. We do have 9 of Austin Moore getting the lucky though with 41 of Chris Perez back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had gotten past and were actually a lap down. I had thought they were at the tail end of the field. I did not realize that they were actually full lap down there. I thought they'd be up front.
Actually, Sean, it looks like the 41 of Chris Perez is not going to be on the lead lap. He is still 1 lap down, but the 9 of Austin Moore is going to be on the lead lap, currently running back in 15th position.
Yeah, as right now these guys are pacing at 45 miles an hour, getting bunched up nice and tight, going green for the last time, because if caution does come out, that will end the race under caution. And that 66 of Paradis will try and hold off the 16 of Charles Paradis will try and hold off the 18 of Justin Michael and the 16 of Curtis Aho as he battles the 7 of Dallas Pataska. The pace car is off, but Dave, take it away.
Well, there goes Dallas Pataska. He jumps hard on that throttle, gets a good jump. 87 of Justin Michael, 66 of Dallas Paredes are going to keep it side by side here on the front stretches. They are battling here into turn number 1.
Oh man, that successful Charles Paredes did end up hitting that wall, which did slow him down. He did lose a few spots. He got overtaken by the one of James O'Brien, the 16 of Curtis Aho, and the 654 of Josh Conker. He's now going to be back there in about sixth place.
Well, we've got a battle brewing here for second position. It's the 6x4 Josh Conker. It's all over that back bumper of Justin Michael as they are trying to get up to the 7 of Dallas Pataska. The question is do they got time? Here comes Dallas Pataska looking to the inside. Justin Michael slides up a little bit. 6x4 Josh Conker is going to get to his door as they are now coming out of turn number 4. It is a battle down the front stretch coming into turn 1 as they are still side by side.
And during that last lap at Arizona, Justin Michael did smack that wall really hard on the exit of turn 2. But that thing is, well, that car has been through a lot tonight. It really has, but it's still performing, which is very, very interesting. I mean, it's been doing an amazing job despite having damage. That is very, very good engineering on that Toyota Camry. And behind we have the 654 of Conquer, the one of James O'Brien. The caution does fly. Holy cow. Gonna go back and take a look at who might have been involved in that. Oh, the 11 of Brian Massey was spun out sideways on the front stretch on the exit of turn number 4. Let's focus on the 11 of Brandon Massey on replay.
Well, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay here, as you said, Sean, we are going to focus on that 11 of Brandon Massey here to see exactly what happened coming out of the turn here. As we are now focused on him, he was door-to-door with the 95 of Jeffrey Ford. Oh, looks like some bad net code between the 95 of Jeffrey Ford and the 11 of Brandon Massey, causing the 11 of Brandon Massey to go spin out and tag that inside wall.
Oh man, that was very unfortunate, but the driver who's happy right now is that 7 of Dallas Pataska, able to bring it home unchallenged. And right now, it is showing the 87 of Justin Michael coming out in second place with the 654 of Josh Conker coming out in third place. That one of James O'Brien fourth, and the 16 of Curtis Aho fifth. And they do cross the start-finish line this time by at pace speed, and that 7 of Dallas Pataska does get around that pace car. So hopefully we do see some donuts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to interview the 7 of Dallas Pataska, the 7 of Justin Michael, and the 654 of Josh Conker. And we do want to thank you for having the honor of being broadcasting with the 14 of Paul D. Johnson.
It was fun, guys. Thanks for letting me broadcast with you.
As we focus on that 7 of Dallas Pataska as he burns that sucker down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have our top 3 drivers. The 7 of Pataska, the 87 of Justin Michael, and the 654 of Josh Conker. Well, we are going to mix it up. We will start from the bottom to the top. 654 Josh Conker. You got a cop there, bud?
Yeah, I got you, Sean.
Well, Josh, tonight you did put in a hard fight. You were battling as many cars as you could out there, trying to take as many spots away as possible and trying to make up as much time as you could on those leaders before your green flag pit stop, so the first round of green flag pit stops. Well, Josh, tell us about your experience tonight, buddy.
Race was pretty good considering. It's Dover. The Monster Mile is normally a tougher track for most people, so I was expecting this to be one of the tougher races. But at the end of our first stint, where I was starting to pick off a little more cars, the race was starting to look up, and then I had a little bobble there behind Justin. I had to save it down the backstretch. I thought the race was over, but that late caution kind of saved me there. So overall, it was a pretty good race. Had my ups and downs as usual.
Oh, 10-4, Josh. Well, we are glad that despite everything you went through tonight, you were still able to come out with the top 3 here, finishing behind a son of Justin Michael after having battling the track throughout the entire race tonight, and also battling your opponents and executing some excellent green flag pit stops. And Josh, how's the car's handling tonight?
The car was pretty good. On the longer run, it got a little tight in the auto occasion. I found it kind of got tight and snapped loose. But under like the short runs, it was really good. It handled nicely and stuck to the track very well.
Oh, copy that. Well, Josh, we are glad that you were able to finish in third place. You are an amazing driver in this series, and you have a lot of determination, which does take you a long way. Well, Josh, next week we are going to be at Michigan International Speedway. What should we expect from you, buddy?
I did a lot of open practice there when with James when that was there for the B Open series, so I do have a pretty good understanding of the track. With the new update coming out Wednesday, there might be some setup changes, so I'll have to do a little bit of practice during the week. But I should be top 10. I'm hoping for a top 10.
Oh, 10-4, Josh. That is very, very good goal to set. And since you did say that you have had a lot of practice at Michigan, we do expect a podium from you next week. And before we let you go, Josh, any final words or shout-outs you'd like to give?
I'd like to thank you guys for Solid Dre Broadcasting for holding the broadcast every week. You guys do a great job. I'd like to thank all my karting sponsors, VSR, Lone Palm Design, Ames Oil, Fast Eddie Racewear, and everybody else who's involved.
Well, once again, Josh, congratulations on your third place finish. We do look forward to seeing you again next week at Michigan. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you, you too, Sean.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the podium roundup. The 654 of Josh Conquer, but in front of him we do have the 87 of Justin Michael, having the worst looking car out there after tonight's race. Get a cup there, Justin?
Yeah, Sean, how are you?
Good, how are you, buddy?
I've had better races.
I can only imagine, man. We noticed you made contact with the wall a couple of times, or the walls a couple of times, and also made contact with a couple of other cars out there. And your car was still able to somehow keep up. Well, tell us a little bit about how the car was handling after being beaten up like that.
Well, you know, after we got completely demolished under caution on the backstretch, you know, by somebody who just obviously is not thinking, you know, the car just handled like complete crap after that. You know, the last run there at the end, I was just trying to get everything I could out of it. I know I smashed the wall, but I still finished second. I don't know how, but it definitely just the people not using their heads tonight at all.
Well, we are sorry to hear about that, Justin, but you were still able to pull through that. And we did notice you stayed on pit road for about 40 plus seconds, and you were back there in the field, I believe 14th place back. Well, when you were back there in the field, did you see yourself finishing up here?
Not really, but I didn't know that everybody else, a lot of other people had damage as well, so that kind of helped us. I guess even Dallas had damage, what it looks like at the end there, so I guess I just had a little bit more though.
Oh, 10-4, Justin. Well, buddy, you did an amazing job tonight. We are sorry to hear about everything you went through tonight, but you were still able to pull through it or push through it and finish in second place. And Justin, next week at Michigan, what should we expect from you, buddy?
Well, I like Michigan, but I don't remember ever running these cars there in iRacing, so it'll be a learning experience.
Copy that. Well, before I let you go, buddy, any final words you'd like to say?
Just everybody out there watching your broadcast, out there watching my stream at the twitch.tv/SimTVNation, and just thank people for not having heads tonight and running me over under caution.
Well, Justin, we do hope that you have a better race next week at Michigan, and once again, congratulations on your second place finish tonight. Have a good night and good rest of the week, buddy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 87 of Justin Michael, but we are now going to move on to the man of the night, the man of the hour, the 7 of Dallas Pataska. Got a cup there, bud?
Yep, how you doing, Sean?
How are you, buddy?
I'm great. This was a great race. This is probably one of the best handling cars I've ever driven in this class, and hopefully I can take this momentum into Michigan.
Oh, 10-4, and that is very, very nicely said. And here, Dallas, you did start in 5th place and was able to take the lead away from the 18 of Justin Michael and battling the 18 of Travis Brother early on, the 16 of Chris Aho being in the mix, 16 of Charles Paradis as well throughout the entire race, and you were still able to execute some great pit stops. Well, Dallas, tell us about your pit stops tonight, buddy.
Well, after the first stop went as scheduled, but we had a couple cautions mid-fuel run, so it kind of threw things off kilter. At the end, there was a lot of people doing different strategies. It was very close to mine not working out with Justin pitting, trying to undercut me. I'm just glad I didn't get any speeding penalties. It's a very slow, only 35 miles an hour, so just getting out on the track as quickly as possible and getting into my comfort zone was the key there.
Oh, 10 for Dallas. And Dallas, speaking of you and the 87 of Justin Michael, it did seem as though on that last green flag pit stop run, you were leading when he went down pit road, but when you pitted in, or when you pitted out, he was able to get around you when you guys had about 4 laps difference on your tires. Well, Dallas, did you think you were going to be able to get around him like you did?
Well, I knew I had been quicker for most of the race. As you guys might have seen in the first round, I had caught him and I maybe passed him coming to the first round of pit stops, so I knew the long run speed was there. I knew I was faster once we get 30-40 laps on our tires. I thought I would be able to catch him because he pitted so much earlier than me. It was getting around him that was going to be tough because I haven't had much passing experience on this track, so that was going to be the tricky part. Luckily, it worked out for me.
Oh, copy that, buddy. You did do an amazing job with those green flag pit stops and also getting around all your opponents and leading a lot of laps tonight and just being pretty much untouchable. And well, before we let you go, Dallas, next week at Michigan, what exactly should we expect from you? How much of experience have you had?
Well, I've had a bit of experience running in like the fixed series on the public or official side of things, but I haven't been too strong there. It's a unique track. It'll be nice to see what this league will do when we get out on a unique kind of track like that. I'm hoping for a top 10. Hopefully some of this momentum and this confidence I've gained from this race will propel me to another top 5 or maybe even another win.
Well, Dallas, with your driving skills, with your driving style throughout the entire season, you have been doing an amazing job. So if you keep doing exactly what you're doing, you will always succeed. You do have a lot of stiff competition behind you, but so far you have seemed to be doing a great job against them and pretty much doing all you could to get around them, and it has been paying off for the most part. Before I let you go, Dallas, any final words you'd like to say, buddy?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the viewers for coming out to this great stream that you guys are putting on. I'd like to thank Dre Broadcasting for the work you guys do. You do a great job every week. And I'd like to thank the PRL staff and owners, Jerome over at PRL, for putting all this together and making it happen.
Well, Dallas, we do thank you for the kind words, and once again, congratulations on winning tonight's race and also being in second place for the last 2 races in the point standings. We do look forward to seeing you again next week at Michigan. Have a good night and good rest of the week, buddy.
All right, you too, Sean.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 7 of Dallas Pataska, second place in points and first place in tonight's race. And a very great driver, starting in 5th place and finishing on the pole after an amazing race. Good green flag pit stops, difficult track, even tougher opponents out there, but he was still able to pull it off. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this was the A&J Ford Memorial Run here at Dover International Speedway by the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, who did put in a hard fight as well and finished in 11th place. Well, Dave, it was a very, very fun race. We saw some green flag pit stops, a lot of battles, a lot of wall smacking, a lot of damaged cars out there, but it was definitely a very, very fun race.
Oh, most definitely, Sean. These drivers put on a clinic. They had a blast. I had a blast calling it. We had battles all the way from the lead position all the way to the back of the field. These drivers gave it their all and just put on one heck of a show here tonight.
And ladies and gentlemen, next week we will be at Michigan International Speedway for the Michigan Great Lakes 180 by the 16 of Curtis Aho, who finished in 5th place tonight after putting on a hard fight as well. Once again, that is Michigan International Speedway next week, Sunday, at the exact same time. And tonight, once again, was the A&J Ford Memorial Run by the 95 of Jeffrey Ford here at Dover International Speedway by the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series by the 092 of Dean Stone. For the next broadcast we have coming up will be on Saturday night for the Cyber Racing Association Acrylic Art Super Truck Series at Talladega. Well, Dave, before we close out, let's go over the final results, please.
Well, Sean, in first we had the 7 of Dallas Pataska. with the 87 of Justin Michael just behind him, finishing in second. The 6x4 of Josh Conker coming in third. The 1 of James O'Brien, last season's champion, coming in fourth. And then the 16 of Curtis Aho coming in fifth, finishing sixth. The 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne, finishing seventh. The 66 of Charles Paradas. The 3 of Dale Robertson, finishing eighth. The 8 of Stephen Aguilar, finishing ninth. And the 24 of Corey Blevins, rounding out your top 10.
And that 95 of Jeffrey Ford, tonight's race sponsored the A&J Ford Memorial Run. Here at Dover International, finishing 11th place. The 27 of Danny Duchesne, 12th. The 45 of Eddie Hawks, 13th. The 9 of Austin Moore, 14th. The 11 of Ronan Massey, 15th. The 41 of Chris Perez, 16th. The 28 of Eric Roberts, 17th. The 59 of David White, 18th. The 911 of John LaBeouf, 19th. And that 40 of Aaron R. Groskov in 20th place.
Finishing 21st will be the 18 of Travis Browder. The 6 of Stephen Maddox, finishing 22nd. The 14 of Paul D. Johnson, who we had the pleasure of talking into the booth with us. And 23rd, finishing 24th, will be the 10 of Lance Marsh. And rounding out our field will be the 78 of Ronald McManus, who didn't turn in any laps, finishing 25th.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is a Precision Racing League. Check them out on iRacing at Precision Racing League. They do have a road series and an oval series, so you can join either based on your preferences. And this Sunday series, Sunday night series, is a Precision Racing League United Armed Services oval series by Dean Stone. And tonight, once again, was the A&J Ford Memorial Run. And next week, we will be at Michigan International for the Michigan Great Lakes 180 by Curtis Aho. The next broadcast, once again, will be on Saturday night with the Cyber Race Association Acrylic Art Super Truck Series at Talladega Super Speedway. I am Sean Zulu and Dave Evil behind the cameras, and see you next broadcast. Have a good night.